completed my greenhouse plant tables, and these came from the directions in my Mittleider Gardening Coursebook. So I just want to show you what I did and how I got this done. The first step in putting together these grow tables is to make the base. Now to make the base, you have to cut your legs 30 inches long, because that's a pretty nice workable level and leaves a lot of space for the plants to grow above it. I went ahead and made mine out of 2x4s as well as the rest of this base unit. You could do 4x4s if you wanted yours to handle even higher weights on top of it. Then the side braces I cut at 31.5 inches, and the front I did at 46.5. I did cut a small 2.5 inch spacer board because I want that bottom brace to be 2.5 inches from the bottom so that it can go up against the sides of my walls, since my foundation comes out just a little bit there. I'm using 2.5 inch decking screws, which should hold really well even when they're in the outdoor weather. For the top portion of the table, you want your bracer boards to go flush up against the top of it. The next step is to cut all of the boards for the top and for that bottom shelf. I did all of these out of pallet boards, and I just cut them to 34.5 inches. I usually cut them before I take the nails out, because if it's a section I'm just going to throw away, if it's just the scrap portion of it, then I don't want to take the time to take those nails out. So I go ahead and cut it first, and then the nails out, and then we're ready to go. And for putting them on there, you're going to need a varied number, anywhere from like, I don't know, 10 to 12 boards for each shelf. Since I'm doing 6 of these tables, I'm going to have to do roughly 132 boards. So it really was a time saver for me to go ahead and take the time to build this stop block so that I didn't have to mark every single one. Now for me, since I'm using the pallet boards, I just need to pull out whatever nails are left. Fortunately, those are somewhat minimized because I try to cut both ends of the board if I can. And so generally speaking, there's just the center boards to come out, so it should go pretty quickly. Another benefit of cutting both sides is that you know that you have a straight end, because sometimes with pallet boards, they aren't the straightest cuts on the ends. Then it's just a matter of sanding down the boards so that they're ready to be installed. When I do this, I just sand the top surface. I go around all 4 edges and then a little bit over the top, just enough to make it so that there's no possibility of slivers. I try to leave as much character as I can. Now that our base boxes are built, it's time to get them painted, and I just do the white oil-based. This is barn and fence paint, and it's fabulous because it goes over there, it coats it really well. Now, if you want it to be a bright white, you're going to have to do a second coat, but I like it to kind of absorb in, because it is oil-based paint. Certain parts of the wood will absorb it more than others, and it gives it this nice, rustic, almost whitewashed kind of look to it.
Now that I have all my pallet boards prepped, it is time to put them on the tables. First, I like to do the bottom shelf, because then you don't have to worry about the top one being in the way. And when you're putting these planks on, you want to put one right up against the legs, and then you do a 1 inch spacer on each side. You put the next one in, a 1 inch spacer, put the next one in, and I just kind of move my spacer along as I go. I'm using a 2 inch decking screw for this because you definitely want to do something that's going to be good for the outdoors. I try to plan these out ahead of time because then I can just go and screw everything in all at once. When you're doing it, you kind of want to make sure that you get a mixture of colors and sizes so that one shelf doesn't have a bunch of the large size pallet boards, and so that you don't end up with one that has all light colored boards, one that has all dark colored boards. So you just try to make it look a little more random than that. I usually try to pick one side and have that be what I'm going to consider my front, and that's the one that I will make everything lined up just perfectly. There's going to be some slight differences in cuts from one board to the next. So by doing this, then you're able to reduce the amount of variance from one side to the other, so that any variations in where the ends are at are all going to be on that back side. The top of the table is done similarly. The only difference is that when you put your first and your last boards on, they're going to go right to the edge of the top there. The only thing that I would add is that as you're putting on probably your last 3 boards, I would try to evenly disperse the distance in your gap. Now, if you were cutting it as you went, you may be able to be a little bit more accurate. Since I've cut them all beforehand, you know, there's differences with the blocking when you have something already screwed in versus when you're just kind of pushing up against something. So, you know, it may be a little bit different that way. A time-saving tip that's especially helpful if you're doing 6 of these like I am is to cut a spacer board for every single board. I have 8 boards on the top, so I've got 16 spacer boards. I just cut them to 1 inch each, put them all in there. As soon as they're positioned, then I screw everything in. It's pretty fast that way. It's time to trim out the top. I'm using 1.5 inch by 1/2 inch boards for this. I like to put on the ends first, and I just use the finishing nailer, the pneumatic gun, and then I come back later and add screws to it to hold it in. But there's a little bit of adjusting that needs to be done, and it just holds it up better so that then it doesn't move when I go to actually screw it in. I do the finishing nailer all along the edge of it, and then when I do the front ones, I wait until I've got the side ones in, and then I measure it exactly for that piece because sometimes there can be slight differences. I like my trim to be really precise. And then I cut it, put it on as well, making sure that I nail to every individual little plank, and then I do the screws there too. I like to do 3 screws in the front and 2 screws on the side, just going into the big support boards. When I put the screws in, I put them on each corner and then in the very center of the front and back. And so that's at like 23 5/8. You don't want to sink your screws all the way with these because the wood is so thin that it'll just split it. So just put it down until it's like nearing the top. I'll be using Thompson's water seal to help protect the wood. When you're putting the water seal on, you just make sure you do a good solid coat on it. You can always check it later. The way you can tell if it actually worked is you put a little bit of water on it, and if it beads up, you know that you have enough. Now, if you have really dry, porous wood, then it's going to get absorbed the best. Now, with the pallet boards, generally speaking, that's the case. So this should work pretty well.
Thanks for watching, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe.